You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your ITIL Foundation certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. One of the strongest enablers of successful service management is the principle of collaboration combined with visibility. Collaboration ensures that the right people work together across boundaries, while visibility ensures that all stakeholders can see what is happening in a timely and understandable way. Together, they form a partnership of action and transparency. Without collaboration, organizations fall into silos, duplicating effort and missing opportunities. Without visibility, even the best intentions become mired in confusion and mistrust. This principle emphasizes that value is created most effectively when joint work is supported by shared, reliable information. It is not enough to have skilled individuals. They must engage with one another openly. And it is not enough to perform good work. Stakeholders must see progress clearly. Teamwork and transparency act as twin lenses, through which organizations focus their energy toward shared goals. Collaboration can be defined as the coordinated effort of multiple stakeholders working toward a common objective. Unlike cooperation, which may involve individuals helping one another occasionally, collaboration implies deeper integration of effort. It requires intentional structures, shared goals, and ongoing communication. For example, a product launch requires collaboration between marketing, IT, legal, and operations. Each brings specialized knowledge, but success comes only when they coordinate as a unified whole. Collaboration ensures that diverse expertise is not scattered or duplicated, but harnessed in complementary ways. In service management, collaboration spans across consumers, providers, and partners, reminding us that no single actor delivers value alone. Instead, it is the combination of perspectives and contributions that makes services meaningful and sustainable. Visibility, on the other hand, refers to the accessibility, timeliness, and reliability of information about work. Visibility is not about overwhelming stakeholders with raw data. It is about presenting information in a way that allows informed decisions and shared understanding. For instance, a dashboard showing real-time incident status provides visibility into current challenges, enabling stakeholders to respond effectively. Without such visibility, work becomes opaque, and misunderstandings fester. Visibility ensures that progress, risks, and outcomes are not hidden but available to all who need them. In this sense, it is the oxygen of collaboration. Without it, coordination suffocates. Visibility is what allows trust to take root, because stakeholders can see with their own eyes what is being done, rather than relying solely on claims or assumptions. To support both collaboration and visibility, organizations must establish a shared language. Shared language ensures that key terms are interpreted consistently across teams. Without it, confusion arises. For example, if one group defines incident as any service interruption, while another defines it as only major outages, reports will mislead rather than inform. A common vocabulary reduces miscommunication and accelerates alignment. Shared definitions also support transparency because stakeholders know they are interpreting reports and dashboards in the same way. In practice, this may involve glossaries, training sessions, or standardized reporting formats. Shared language acts as a unifying thread, ensuring that when stakeholders talk about performance, risks, or priorities, they are genuinely speaking the same language. Role clarity is another building block for effective collaboration. Ambiguity about who is responsible for decisions, approvals, or actions leads to conflict and delay. Role clarity involves establishing decision rights and accountability boundaries so that everyone knows their part in the collaboration. For example, during incident response, one person must be designated as the incident commander, while others have defined responsibilities such as communication or technical recovery. Without role clarity, duplication of effort and hesitation can paralyze response. By contrast, clear roles foster confidence, because participants know who leads, who decides, and who executes. This clarity strengthens both collaboration and visibility, as stakeholders can see who is accountable and how responsibilities are distributed. Stakeholder mapping is a practical tool for enabling collaboration. It involves identifying stakeholders, assessing their levels of influence and interest, and determining their communication needs. Not all stakeholders require the same level of engagement, but all require some degree of inclusion. For example, senior sponsors may need high-level progress reports, while users require detailed updates about service changes. Mapping ensures that collaboration is intentional rather than ad hoc, balancing involvement across diverse groups. It also highlights potential gap stakeholders who may be overlooked but whose perspectives are critical. By using stakeholder mapping, organizations ensure that collaboration is inclusive and that visibility is tailored to different audiences without being overwhelming. Communication cadences are another critical aspect of collaboration and visibility. Cadence refers to the rhythm of updates, aligned to the pace of change. If updates are too frequent, they become noise. If too infrequent, stakeholders feel left in the dark. The right cadence depends on the context. For example, during a major incident, hourly updates may be appropriate. For ongoing projects, weekly summaries might suffice. Establishing cadences ensures predictability, so stakeholders know when and how they will receive information. This predictability builds trust and reduces anxiety. Communication cadences are not just about frequency, but also about relevance, delivering the right information at the right time. By aligning cadences with the rhythm of work, organizations maintain engagement without overload. Knowledge-sharing mechanisms turn collaboration into a learning process rather than just a coordination exercise. Mechanisms such as wikis, knowledge bases, and retrospective reports allow insights from one effort to be reused in another. For instance, documenting lessons learned from a past incident provides guidance for handling future disruptions. Knowledge sharing reduces duplication, shortens learning curves, and creates a culture of openness. It also strengthens visibility by making historical information accessible, so stakeholders can see not only what is happening now, but also what has been learned before. Effective collaboration depends on this shared memory, ensuring that teams do not repeat mistakes or lose valuable insights when individuals move on. Transparency in work intake is another dimension of visibility that supports collaboration. Work intake refers to how requests, projects, or incidents enter the system. Without transparency, stakeholders may feel that requests disappear into a black hole, leaving them frustrated and disengaged. By clarifying how work is received, prioritized, and tracked, organizations build confidence. For example, a request portal that shows current status submitted, in progress completed, provides stakeholders with visibility into their requests. This reduces unnecessary inquiries and reassures them that work is being managed responsibly. Transparent work intake fosters accountability and fairness, ensuring that resources are allocated according to agreed priorities rather than hidden preferences. Escalation transparency is equally important. Escalation refers to the process of moving urgent or unresolved issues to higher authority or expertise. If escalation thresholds and routes are unclear, problems may languish or bounce between teams without resolution. Transparency clarifies when escalation is appropriate, who to contact, and how decisions will be made. For example, publishing escalation paths for incidents ensures that all participants know how to act when problems intensify. This not only accelerates resolution, but also reduces anxiety by removing uncertainty. Escalation transparency turns crisis management into a structured process, strengthening both collaboration and trust during high-pressure situations. Incident communication is a specialized form of transparency that is critical during disruptions. During outages or service failures, users are often more upset by the lack of communication than by the outage itself. Incident communication standards, such as regular updates, plain language explanations, and clear timelines, help maintain trust. For example, a utility company that provides hourly updates during a power outage preserves credibility, even if restoration takes time. By contrast, silence breeds frustration and erodes confidence. Incident communication demonstrates respect for stakeholders by acknowledging their need for information and providing it proactively. It transforms potentially damaging events into opportunities to build trust through honesty and openness. Change communication is another critical practice. When services are modified, stakeholders need to know what is happening, when it will occur, and how it will affect them. Change communication standards ensure that this information is delivered consistently and clearly. For example, notifying users of a planned system upgrade, including potential downtime and expected benefits, prepares them for impacts and reduces resistance. Poor change communication, by contrast, creates surprises and resentment. By making change communication predictable and informative, organizations ensure that collaboration extends beyond providers to consumers, aligning everyone for smoother transitions. Visibility during change is not just a courtesy. It is a necessity for trust and adoption. Performance reporting is the ongoing practice of signaling outcomes, risks, and trends to stakeholders. Reports may include metrics like uptime, ticket resolution times, or user satisfaction scores. The goal is not just to share numbers but to tell a story about performance. For example, reporting that service reliability improved 10% over the past quarter demonstrates progress, while also flagging areas for further improvement. Performance reporting makes outcomes visible and connects them to strategic goals. By being transparent about both strengths and weaknesses, organizations build credibility and invite stakeholders into the journey of continual improvement. This openness fosters collaboration by ensuring that everyone works from the same evidence base. Cultural foundations of trust, respect, and constructive challenge underpin both collaboration and visibility. Without trust, transparency feels risky, and without respect, collaboration feels superficial. A healthy culture encourages people to challenge ideas without attacking individuals, to admit mistakes without fear, and to share information without defensiveness. This culture does not arise automatically. It must be cultivated deliberately through leadership behavior, recognition of openness, and safe spaces for dialogue. When culture supports trust and respect, collaboration thrives, and visibility becomes empowering rather than threatening. These cultural foundations transform the principle from a mechanical process into a lived organizational value. The dangers of ignoring collaboration and visibility can be seen in common anti-patterns. Siloed work leads to duplication and conflicting efforts. Hidden queues create bottlenecks where requests vanish into obscurity. Late surprises, such as unannounced outages or last-minute project changes, erode trust and frustrate stakeholders. These anti-patterns demonstrate the cost of neglecting transparency and joint effort. They highlight why collaboration and visibility are not optional extras but essential disciplines. By recognizing and avoiding these traps, organizations preserve alignment and engagement. Anti-patterns serve as reminders that the absence of openness is not neutral. It actively harms outcomes by creating inefficiency, distrust, and disappointment. Finally, collaboration today must account for remote and distributed teams. Inclusivity requires ensuring that distance does not become a barrier to joint effort or transparency. Practices such as virtual stand-ups, shared digital dashboards, and asynchronous communication platforms make collaboration possible across time zones. Visibility must also adapt, ensuring that information is accessible globally, not confined to local offices. Remote collaboration demands intentionality, making space for all voices and ensuring equitable access to information. Done well, distributed collaboration can even strengthen practices by forcing clarity and discipline in communication. It demonstrates that collaboration and visibility are not bound by physical proximity, but by the willingness to share, listen, and include. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Within the service value chain, the engage activity is the focal point for collaboration and visibility. This activity governs the interactions between providers and stakeholders. ensuring that needs, expectations, and priorities are understood clearly. When engagement is iterative and transparent, trust deepens because stakeholders see how their input influences outcomes. For example, during the planning of a new service, engage activities might include joint workshops where providers and users co-design workflows, ensuring both feasibility and usability. Visibility here means making decisions, designs, and trade-offs clear rather than hidden. Collaboration ensures stakeholders feel part of the journey rather than passive observers. Together, these dynamics turn engagement into a living partnership where communication flows both ways, creating alignment before, during, and after service delivery. Relationship management is the practice most directly tied to sustaining continuous dialogue and alignment. This practice ensures that communication does not occur only during crises or project milestones, but throughout the service lifecycle. Regular meetings with sponsors, feedback sessions with users, and reporting to partners all fall under relationship management. Effective collaboration requires these channels to remain open, predictable, and constructive. Visibility within this practice includes publishing performance dashboards, documenting commitments, and openly discussing challenges. Relationship management is less about formalities and more about building resilient trust. By combining collaboration and visibility, it provides stakeholders with confidence that their concerns are heard and that progress is being shared honestly. The service desk is another key enabler of visibility, acting as the single point of contact between users and the provider organization. A well-functioning service desk ensures that incidents, requests, and questions are logged, tracked, and communicated transparently. Collaboration occurs when service desk agents coordinate with technical teams to resolve issues effectively, while visibility is achieved through ticket tracking systems that let users see the status of their issues in real time. A transparent service desk builds confidence by showing progress openly rather than hiding behind opaque processes. It also embodies collaboration because it integrates diverse teams into a unified response to user needs, transforming the desk from a simple call center into a strategic hub of interaction. Service catalog usage is another practice that promotes visibility. A catalog makes available offerings discoverable, presenting services, features, and request paths in a way that users can easily understand. Collaboration occurs when catalog entries are developed jointly by providers and consumers, ensuring accuracy and relevance. Visibility comes from making options clear, eliminating the frustration of uncertainty about what services exist or how to access them. For instance, a catalog might describe how to request new software, how long it typically takes, and who approves the request. This openness empowers users to make informed choices and sets realistic expectations. By maintaining and using a transparent catalog, organizations reduce confusion, align demand with capacity, and improve stakeholder satisfaction. Operational reviews provide another forum where collaboration and visibility intersect. These reviews, often held monthly or quarterly, bring together providers and stakeholders to assess performance, discuss risks, and agree on next steps. Collaboration ensures that diverse perspectives are represented, while visibility is achieved through shared reports and metrics. For example, a quarterly review might present data on uptime, incident volumes, and satisfaction scores, sparking a collaborative discussion about where to invest in improvements. Operational reviews prevent surprises by creating predictable checkpoints where performance is openly examined. They also reinforce accountability, as commitments made in one review are revisited in the next. Such reviews create a cycle of joint responsibility, where transparency fuels collaboration and collaboration drives progress. Post-incident reviews demonstrate transparency in learning. When services fail, trust is often shaken, and the way organizations respond can either repair or erode confidence further. A transparent post-incident review shares what happened, why it occurred, what was done to fix it, and what will be done to prevent recurrence. Collaboration comes from involving all relevant stakeholders, technical teams, users, and managers in the analysis. Instead of assigning blame, The review focuses on learning and accountability. Publishing the results, even in summary form, demonstrates humility and responsibility. Transparency in post-incident reviews assures stakeholders that failures are not swept under the rug, but treated as opportunities to grow stronger together. This practice deepens collaboration by uniting all parties around improvement rather than division. Change schedules are a practical way of providing forward visibility into planned modifications. A change schedule is a published calendar of upcoming changes to services, systems, or infrastructure. It allows stakeholders to prepare for impacts, coordinate dependencies, and raise concerns early. Collaboration occurs when the schedule is developed with input from multiple teams, ensuring that changes do not conflict or overload the system. Visibility is achieved by making the schedule accessible to all affected stakeholders, avoiding the shock of unannounced outages or updates. A transparent change schedule demonstrates respect for users, time, and needs, while also reducing resistance by showing that impacts are anticipated and managed thoughtfully. Capacity and availability reports provide assurance to stakeholders by showing whether services can meet demand. These reports track resource utilization, forecast growth, and signal risks of shortfalls. Collaboration involves sharing these reports with business units, enabling them to adjust plans or escalate needs. Visibility ensures that stakeholders are not surprised by sudden capacity issues, but can see trends developing in advance. For example, a report showing rising storage utilization may prompt joint planning for expansion before crises occur. Such transparency transforms capacity planning from a reactive firefight into a proactive, shared responsibility. By collaborating around clear data, providers and consumers align expectations and avoid costly disruptions. Supplier dashboards extend visibility beyond organizational boundaries. Many services depend on third-party vendors, and their performance directly affects outcomes. Supplier dashboards summarize key performance indicators such as uptime, delivery timeliness, and support responsiveness. Collaboration occurs when these dashboards are shared openly with both suppliers and consumers, fostering joint accountability. Transparency ensures that all parties see the same evidence, preventing finger-pointing and confusion. For example, if a cloud provider's availability dips below target, the dashboard makes this visible to both the provider and the customer, enabling collaborative problem-solving. Supplier dashboards demonstrate that visibility should not stop at organizational walls. It must extend across ecosystems to sustain trust and value creation. Transparency, however, must respect privacy and confidentiality boundaries. Not all information can be shared equally, as some data may be sensitive for security, regulatory, or competitive reasons. The principle emphasizes balance, being as open as possible while protecting what must remain confidential. For example, an incident report might disclose resolution timelines and impacts without revealing sensitive details about vulnerabilities. Collaboration here involves agreeing on what information is appropriate for which audiences. This balance ensures that visibility supports trust without creating new risks. It shows stakeholders that transparency is intentional and thoughtful, not reckless disclosure. Tool interoperability is essential for ensuring consistent visibility across systems. In many organizations, different teams use different tools for project management, incident tracking, or reporting. Without interoperability, information becomes fragmented, undermining transparency. For example, if the service desk tool cannot share data with the project management system, stakeholders receive conflicting reports about progress. Interoperability ensures that information is synchronized, creating a single source of truth. Collaboration is strengthened because teams no longer debate conflicting data but work from shared evidence. This consistency makes visibility reliable, turning tools from barriers into enablers of alignment. By investing in interoperability, organizations demonstrate their commitment to genuine transparency. Governance reporting aligns transparency with compliance obligations. Governance bodies, such as boards or regulators, require accurate and timely information to fulfill their oversight roles. Collaboration occurs when providers work with governance bodies to determine reporting formats and frequencies that meet both compliance and operational needs. Visibility ensures that these reports are not perfunctory but meaningful, showing performance, risks, and alignment with strategy. For example, a governance report might highlight not only financial performance, but also service reliability and security posture. This holistic transparency ensures that decision-makers see the full picture, enabling informed guidance. Governance reporting demonstrates that transparency is not only about operational collaboration, but also about accountability to broader oversight frameworks. From an exam perspective, collaboration and visibility are often tested as enablers of value creation. Learners should expect scenarios where siloed behavior or hidden information creates risks, and the correct answer will highlight practices that open communication and share information. Understanding that collaboration unites diverse stakeholders while visibility makes work transparent is key. Exam questions may also ask which principle supports trust during incidents or enables alignment during change, with collaboration and visibility as the best fit. Recognizing these linkages ensures that learners can apply the principle confidently in both theoretical and practical contexts. Scenario recognition helps reinforce the importance of transparency. Consider a project where two departments develop overlapping features because neither knew what the other was doing. The waste and rework could have been prevented with simple visibility into work queues. Another scenario might involve a service outage where users received no updates for hours, leading to anger and mistrust, even though the issue was eventually resolved. In both cases, lack of transparency caused more damage than the actual problem. These examples show why collaboration and visibility are indispensable. By preventing misalignment, rework, and mistrust, they ensure that outcomes are achieved faster, with fewer surprises, and with stronger stakeholder confidence. In conclusion, collaboration and visibility serve as twin pillars that support trust, alignment, and progress in service management. Collaboration ensures that work is shared across boundaries, drawing on diverse strengths. Visibility ensures that information is available, clear, and actionable. Together, they transform siloed activity into coordinated effort and hidden processes into shared understanding. Applied in practices like service desks, catalogs, incident reviews, and governance reporting, this principle builds resilience and efficiency. For learners, the essential insight is that open collaboration and clear information are not optional. They are fundamental to creating value. By embedding them into culture, tools, and processes, organizations create conditions where stakeholders work together confidently, accelerating progress and delivering better outcomes. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.